say to start early and to have as many people as you can look at your personal statement, and then after you write it, to put it away for a few weeks and then look at it again with fresh eyes, because then you'll see all the grammatical errors you put. And be confident in yourself, because you have more experience and you will stand out more than you think you will, and you'll get interviews and you realize that you're really a competitive applicant, even if you didn't think you were. I would say for me, in undergrad, I didn't get a lot of animal experience. That's why I took time off. So if I could, I would try to get out more and do that. But also, because I didn't have like a car to get transportation, I was able to focus on my schoolwork. So taking time off isn't a bad thing, because you'll have a really good GPA, and then afterwards you can get the animal experience and everything else you need to apply to vet school. It would be awesome. I like the weather. I'm from Maryland, so the weather there is really crazy. Like, it will be 80 degrees one day and the next day it will be 60. So I like how it's warm, even though it's kind of cold now. I think I'm like a Floridian now, because when I went home for winter break, the first thing I said was that it's cold, and it was only like 40 degrees. And then I like that there's food everywhere, even though I have no money. When I do, I like to go out and eat everywhere, and how everything is like in one place. I only have to drive like 15 minutes to go anywhere. First semester was rough, but I think I know what I'm doing now. I think I know how to study. I think it depends on who you are. Like for me, I need to study a lot, but I also need to have time for myself. Like now I'm trying to at least have like an hour a day. I either nap, watch TV. Like for me, I like to be alone, so I don't necessarily have to go out and be social. I just need something that's me time, or else I'll go crazy. Or else I think I'll be really stressed out. But I think it's really important. And I also make sure I go to hip hop fitness every week, because it it de-stresses my mind. Like I will try to go to sleep and I can't for like 15-20 minutes, because my mind is literally wandering. So if I go and work out, it like de-stresses me and I have fun doing it. It was my first one, so I was really nervous, and I went in there. They were so nice. They're like, just shake it off. So the first thing I did when I was in there was like this. And it went by really, really fast. So yeah, I remember walking in and leaving. I would say experience, just because like I said before, I didn't get a lot in undergrad, and they want you to do so much and have so many hours, and I don't know how people do it, like finish in like 4 years and come straight in. Like great for them, but like for me, I had to take time off because of that. So I think that's the hardest thing, because it's not feasible for some people who can't go out and just go work places or volunteer, who need money. So I think that's the hardest part in general. But I know they have to do it to make sure you really want to do it. But there's some people who just don't have like the finances or the transportation, or just can't do it because they just don't have the resources for it. So I think that's the hardest part. The amount of work you get, the amount of classes you have, not the amount of classes, but the lecturing. So in undergrad, like you used to like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 50 minutes. In vet school, you have like the same 2-3 classes every day for like 2 hours. You can get new material thrown at you every single day, and then the next day you're expected to like know it all. So that's definitely the hardest part. So you have to study every day. Well, you don't have to, but that's the hardest part. And I'm figuring out how to study, and it's different for every class. But I think that's the hardest transition. It's just the amount of work that gets thrown at you every day. I loved all the schools I interviewed at, but it took me a long time to decide Florida. It was literally, my gut kept telling me Florida like every day. And it took me a long time to decide, because I thought maybe because I found out I got in early that I was like, oh, Florida's the first school that accepted me, I should go here. So after I got all my acceptances, I had to like, every day I just like took my time and thought about it, pros and cons list, but every day like, Florida, Florida, Florida. So eventually I just decided, it was really just a gut feeling. And when I came here for my interview, I just fell in love. So I remember exactly what happened. I was in another state for another interview, and I was in my rental car, and I was obsessively checking my email that whole week, because they told us we would find out that the first week of January that we got in. So every day that week I was obsessively checking my email, and it was a Friday, so I was like, I have to get it today, I have to get it today. And I was obsessively checking my phone, like before I got on the airplane, nothing. When I was at the other airport, nothing. And then when I finally landed, nothing. And I was like, what's happening? And it was like 4 something. I was like, they have to send it before 5. So I was gonna call. It was like 4:20. I was like, let me just call. And I was about to call. Maybe I did call, I don't remember. Maybe I called and no one answered, but then all of a sudden I see an email that's like, early interview update. And I was like, And then I remember I looked at it and all I see was like, on behalf of, congratulations, April 15th. And I started screaming in the rental car. I was like, ah! I was screaming and I called everyone. I called my mom like 3 times. She probably thought I was dying because I never called her that much, but she wasn't answering. Then Facebook status, of course. And I was just like, best of my ever. Go Gators!